Good afternoon, I'm Andy Hooser. Well, it's officially May and the weather has definitely warmed up, and many bars and restaurants are excited about the warmer weather and an increase in traffic going into the summertime.
We have all this space here. We're on 3.5 acres. We're kind of set up for people to enjoy the outdoors. As it's warmed up, we've almost doubled up on our staffing on the weekends. With it being busy outside and being beautiful, everybody wants to be outside pretty much Thursday through Sunday.
That was the manager of Chicken and Pickle on KWCH News. Last summer, most of the bars and restaurants were closed due to the pandemic. In other news, with the month of May kicking off, also means the kickoff of graduation season for high school seniors. And after an odd year last year with COVID-19, most schools in the community are preparing for in-person graduation ceremonies.
We're asking families to socially distance in the stands by families. On the field, the students will be about 6 feet apart. We'll have about 16 to 20 rows, depending on which school, since both schools will have graduation here.
That audio from KWCH News. Now let's go to sports.
The Kansas City Royals dropped their second game in 3 days yesterday to the Minnesota Twins, but at 16-10, still retain the best record in baseball as we enter Monday. They start a 4-game series with the Cleveland Indians side at Kauffman Stadium, and on the mound making his Major League debut will be number 2 Royals prospect and the number 24 prospect in Big League Baseball. That will be Daniel Lynch. The left-hander will take to the mound at Kauffman for the first time this evening. First pitch at 7. From the KGSO Sports Desk, I'm Mason Voth.
Hi, this is Casey from eGraphics. eGraphics is well known for our premier Lumar window tint. We are also well known for our custom vehicle wraps, for one or an entire fleet of vehicles. But did you know that eGraphics, just south of Douglas on Washington, is now able to help you with all of your printing needs? Business cards, brochures, flyers, and banners. And we also have an excellent reputation for top-notch graphic design. eGraphics, eGraf-X.
You want certified protection on any pre-owned vehicle, any make or model, all at one location? Head to Rusty Eck Ford.
If you're searching for the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle, look no further. Want a certified pre-owned Honda? Come to Rusty Eck Ford. Want a certified pre-owned Toyota? Come to Rusty Eck Ford. Want a certified pre-owned Chevy, Jeep, or Ram? Come to Rusty Eck Ford. We're now offering certified pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models. Over 300 to choose from. With Rusty Eck Ford's Blue Advantage program, receive 90-day, 4,000-mile comprehensive coverage with every vehicle going through a 139-point inspection. Rusty Eck Ford is your certified pre-owned powerhouse. Don't forget to ask about our optional 4-day or 200-mile exchange policy.
We've taken the shopping out of the equation, and the solution is simple. Rusty Eck Ford, your certified pre-owned powerhouse. If you don't come see us today, we can't save you any money. RustyEckFord.com.
Excludes Lincoln and select high-end premium brands.
Market information, Mid-America Ag Network, taking a look at Kansas and Oklahoma's closing cash grain bids. It is Monday, May 3rd, and we saw some downward pressure on wheat and soybeans in our cash grains. Mixed numbers in the futures markets. Let's take a look at how the numbers wound up on Monday in the cash grains. We'll start at Sumner County, Kansas, where the wheat finished at $6.57, the corn $6.80, milo $6.75, soybeans $15.12. At Concordia, wheat $6.79, corn $6.80, milo $6.56, soybeans $14.99. At Goodland, wheat $6.48, corn $7.11, milo $6.96, soybeans $15.14. Garden City, Kansas, wheat finished at $6.71, corn $7.40, milo $7.30, soybeans $14.94. At Fredonia, wheat was at $6.88 at the close, corn $7.14, milo $6.79, beans $15.20. And at Belleville, wheat was at $6.69, corn $6.70, milo $6.45, soybeans $14.89. In Oklahoma, starting in Enid, the wheat finished at $6.84, corn $6.75, milo $7.55, beans $14.89. Ponca City, wheat $6.66, corn $6.96, beans $7.30. Milo $7.30, and beans $15.24. And at Panhandle Hooker, the wheat was at $6.68, corn $7.49, milo $7.24, soybeans $14.74. Grab the calculator to do some adding and dividing and come up with averages, and here's what they look like. $6.70 across Kansas and Oklahoma, the average on wheat. That's down 15. 701 is where the corn wound up across the two states. On the average, that's up 8. 698 on the milo across Oklahoma and Kansas. That's up 7. And as I said, soybeans took a pounding. 1501, the average across Kansas and Oklahoma on soybeans. That's down 11. So not a good day for wheat or soybeans. Kansas and Oklahoma closing cash grain bids. Mid-America Ag Network.
Your local weather on KQAM. Brought to you by Derby Mattress. No dancing animals, no gimmicks. Your locally owned hometown mattress store at 105 South Baltimore in Derby.
Cloudy this afternoon with a stray shower or thunderstorm not completely out of the question. In Wichita, we'll see a daytime high near 70. North wind 10 to 20, gusts to 25. The better rain chances will pick up during the evening and overnight tonight, with lows dropping to 46 by morning. For Tuesday, chance for rain in the morning, a high near 64. With your forecast, I'm Cake meteorologist Brian Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on the Big Talker, KQAM.
At 4:06, it's currently 73 degrees.
Fighting for freedom every day.
They are absolutely desperate to pretend the last 4 years never happened and for them to go back to what they liked to do before, which is create these massive spending bills to pretend that it's really, really important to you when you only get about 5% of what's in the bill, and they can't do it because we're aware of it. We're paying attention to it, and they don't like that.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
It is a Monday. Happy beginning of the week. Let's kick off a brand new one here. What do you say? Broadcasting live out of the heart of the nation here in Wichita, Kansas, on our flagship radio station, all over the country on radio, TV, live streaming, plus our podcasting as well. Welcome aboard. Great to have you as we go through another crazy wackadoodle day that is a Monday, that is the United States of America, and that is run by the Democrats all over the place. So welcome in your millennial general reporting for duty. We got a heck of a show lined up for you today. A lot of things to talk about, a lot of things happening. Hopefully you had a great weekend and you're all rested, ready to go for another one. We are officially in May, which means, don't they usually say April showers bring May flowers? Which means May, if it rained in April, metaphorically speaking, politically wise, that means the Democrats proposed a whole bunch of garbage. April showers bring May flowers, which means that's optimistic, right? That means if they presented the dark, dreary garbage, then we get to fight back and have a positive month of May where we get to stop on all so it doesn't actually become legislation. I can go with that. At least that's me, the internal optimist. Welcome in. We're live streaming all over our social media, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, plus ourfreedombook.com, and, of course, our website at HooserReason.com. Now, I have to warn you, I am working. I'm not liking the social media thing, but I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. I'm starting to open up a couple new social media accounts on top of everything else that we're doing. Now, I don't know how active I'm going to be on them, but at least we have a presence to say we did it and to try and maybe reach a few new people here and there. I forget what it's called, Mike Lindell's social media platform. I have yet to sign on to that one, but I'm going to try it. The other one, and you're going to laugh at me because I already really suck at trying to do the photos and the videos and everything as well. I'm not good on Instagram, and we do have an Instagram account at Hoosier Reason. Yeah, we do. I never even talk about it because I never even use it because I don't take pictures of myself all the time. I don't know how people go about taking selfies 2 or 3 times a day and posting it on social media. I just don't get it. I'm too busy for that. I don't look good in photos, and therefore I just don't care. So I don't take pictures of myself. But I have an Instagram account, and we do post stuff on there maybe once in a while, usually not pictures of me, but we at least have photos of something on there politically. The other one that I'm creating is a TikTok. I know, TikTok. Now, there was some controversy about TikTok a while ago with, obviously it was a China-run company, and it was going to be banned in the United States because China was literally just using that as a source to collect data from your phone, to turn on your camera, to turn on your audio, to turn on everything, and just monitor everything that you were doing. A Chinese company was doing that. Now, which is why I didn't want anything to do with it. And it's kind of a younger kids thing, and they just make little 15-second videos, which again, I don't take photos of myself, so I don't know why I want to do that. But if I'm trying to appeal to the younger generation, I've come to the conclusion that I need to try and be hip with them. It's like Tom Brady trying to listen to hip-hop music and trying to wear hats sideways with a straight brim because he's trying to appeal to the younger crowd because he's still the top of the NFL when it comes to the sports, which, you know me, I don't follow a whole lot of sports, but I know Tom Brady, and I followed the Patriots for a long time. They've kind of been my team. But I mean, that's like Tom Brady trying to be hip and cool. He's in his mid-40s, but yet he still wears his hat, the straight-brimmed hat, sideways, and tries to listen to hip-hop music and is on the social media talking about the new artist coming out because he's trying to be hip and cool. And I realize that if I'm going to try and influence the younger generation, I have to get into their platform. I have to break into their realm of what they're doing and try and be a little bug in the ear so that way they hear a different point of view, because they're not going to hear it. I mean, no offense, but the older generation is not going to be hip and cool on TikTok to be able to influence them to learn about conservative values. So we're going to try and have fun with it. We're going to try and do something. I've got to get better at actually updating the social media, doing the photos, doing the videos, maybe not of myself, but at least of something politically to try and pique some interest out there as well. So that way they at least get it a little bit. So we're creating a TikTok. We're going to be on Mike Lindell's website. We're on freedombook.com. And then, of course, the usual with YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and LinkedIn, plus the twitch.tv. Huge one right now, and we appreciate you if you go and follow that one. All right, that's enough of the social media plug. We got a lot to get to. Today's going to be an interesting show. At the bottom of the hour, anybody, show of hands, anybody remember the name of Melissa CARONE? She is the IT professional from the state of Michigan that testified with Rudy Giuliani on the election fraud, and she's the one that everybody kind of laughed at. They made an SNL skit about her. She said some pretty crazy things there at the election stuff. I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying it was outlandish in the point that everybody was kind of taken aback on both sides. They're like, wow, either this is crazy going on or wow, she's a nut. And she was very controversial. She's going to be on the program in a half hour as she is running for the state legislature in the state of Michigan. So we're excited to have her on the program. We'll talk about big tech, obviously with the social media, how that influences elections, what happened in the state of Michigan, where the latest is with some of the audits going on in the election, and then her run for the state legislature as well in a very conservative district. And she may very well get that seat. So we're looking forward to chatting with her coming up in just about a half an hour. And I'm super excited to talk with her in just a little bit. Last week, we talked about how to spread the message of conservatism, which led me to the pondering over the weekend. Do I create these social media accounts? Do I go to these other sites as well? I can't handle the social media sites that I have already. There's too much just crap on there. I just don't like to spend all my time updating social media. I just don't have time for that. I don't like to do that. I've told you, if I could live in the middle of a nowhere with no technology at all, I would be completely content and happy. But to try and spread the message, to try and promote the show, to try and do what we do, then we're on the social media and we're going to get on as many as possible. But we talked about ways to try and spread the message on what conservatism needs to look like moving forward and how we can properly and efficiently go after the Biden administration and the left side of the aisle, because we need to. And we have to find a productive way to do so. We can't just make fun of Joe Biden, even though it's very, very easy to do. I mean, all we got to do is just ask how he's doing every day, and he just makes a fluff.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
I mean, just simple questions. Joe, how you doing there, buddy? And those are the kind of responses we get. So what can we do? Well, there's a new piece out of the dispatch.com that talks about, quote, the era of big government is here and how conservatism is dying off. Big government is here. The latest polls, and we read them last week, that the majority of Americans, quote unquote, air quotes right here, the majority of Americans, meaning the ones that they polled in 200 people for the nation, be like, oh yeah, out of the 350 million people in the country, we polled 200, and this is a nice sampling of what's going on in the nation. And according to their poll, something like anywhere between 60 to 68% of Americans love the big government spending projects that Joe Biden's proposing. Like, the media at least is pushing this as if this is what we've always wanted. We never knew this was possible to actually invest in infrastructure at this level. We never knew that we could invest in social programs at this level for American families and for preschool and kindergarten to be free and for higher education to be free and start getting rid of some of the debts and take care of our children for me. It's going to be great. Plus the expansion of healthcare. They love these things. We never knew we could go as far as this. On their side. I mean, right now we can't. Constitutionally, we're not allowed to. And it's really like the absolute 180 degrees away from what the American founders and the Constitution wanted us to do. But that's what they like. And according to the media, the polls are great. Everybody's wonderful. Everybody's loving this stuff. We're coming off the bad taste of Donald Trump. We're coming off trying to get back on the main street and trying to correct things. And while we're correcting things, actually moving in the right direction. That's that side. So is conservatism dying? Or are we regrouping? I have to admit, I've never seen so much energy from the right side of the aisle that I have right now. I've seen it during the Trump administration, obviously, for the 4 years. But now that he lost, and there was the issue with the elections, and now with Joe Biden reversing course at 180 degrees, I've never seen so much fire. I've never seen so much passion. I've never seen so much intensity. For an off-election season, people still fired up about politics. It's amazing. And I love it because people say, wait a second, whether Joe Biden won the election or not, this is not okay. We're not going to accept these policies. We're not going to let them come to the statewide level. I've never seen so many states put up a barrier and say, we're going to put in Second Amendment sanctuary laws. We're going to put a blockade to where we're not going to accept your restrictions. We're going to start opening up after COVID. We're going to start limiting our taxes at the local level. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure that the federal government does not intrude in our level of livelihood at the state level. That is conservatism. Now, the federal government, the era of big government is here. It's been here for a long time. Donald Trump was one individual trying to take on an entire system, and I say overall he did a fantastic job with what he was capable of doing. Was he able to change the system completely? No. Did we expect him to? We kind of wanted him to, but did he do it? No. Because he couldn't, because he's only one guy. With a chamber of 435 members in the House of Representatives and 100 members in the Senate, he's only one guy. Plus you have the Supreme Court. Plus you have the district courts. And you have the progressive activists in the courts. And then you have the special interests. All of them that had to tie in, and he did the best that he could. But guess what? He lit the spark for more conservatives to want to run for office at local levels. He lit the spark for individuals wanting to run for federal office, for statewide offices. Right now in Kansas, for those that don't live in the state of Kansas, we already have 3 individuals, 2 main ones, 2 big ones, and then one that's kind of a smaller individual that have already announced for their run for governor in 2022 in the midterm elections. We have a Democrat governor here in the state of Kansas. And there's already Republicans that are running. Not only are they running, they're running to compete about who's the most conservative candidate in the state of Kansas. We already have candidates running in for the attorney general because our attorney general is running for governor, so he's giving up that seat. They're a year and a half out. They're already announcing it. Obviously, we have a candidate coming on for the state legislature in the state of Michigan at the bottom of this hour because people are fired up. The movement has not gone away. So while they say the era of big government is here, it's been here at the federal level, and it's been here for a long time. Really since Franklin D. Roosevelt, really since the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and 50s, where we created agency after agency after agency, the Department of Housing, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Education, the Department of Urban Development, the Department of Energy, the Department of this, the Department of, because why not? Let's just centralize everything. Let's have the government regulate everything at the federal level. Now we're using those on tier number 2 of the Progressive Socialist Plan to use those agencies into expanding complete centralized power and control to everything. It's already been here. The era of big government is here. The problem is that Republicans, yes, I'm talking to you, every Republican elected official that has an R in front of your name, you need to learn to unite. One of the most amazing things that I saw over the weekend, and this may be controversial, I don't really care. One of the most amazing things I saw on social media this weekend was the state Republican convention in what was it? In Mitt Romney's state. And Mitt Romney was speaking in Utah. In the crowd, the entire state convention in this massive auditorium booing him. Massively booing Mitt Romney. Andy, that's not very nice. Guess what? We're done with the moderates. We're done with the middle of the roaders. We're done with the rhinos. No more. You cannot sit there and trash the leader of the Republican Party as the president while you're a Republican and expect to get things done. We are done with it. We're done. No more. It is time for the Republican Party to unite under conservative principles. Period. End of story. We will not compromise. We will not waver. We will not bend. This is conservative principles, and we will stop the progressives dead in their tracks. No negotiating, just dead vote no on these bills. We'll talk about that when we come back because there's a lot of conversation. How many Republicans will try to compromise to water down some of the Biden progressive bills moving forward? We'll do that when we come back here on The Voice of Reason for a Monday. Stay here.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left seems to find new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back, and we can help with that. Visit our website at HooserReason.com. There's some really great stuff for you. You can read the latest blog discussing topical issues and current events. Let us know your thoughts by filling out our monthly survey. Keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Listen to the podcast of your favorite guest or show, and check out our latest Voice of Reason product infomercials. Plus, you can find upcoming show schedules and guest lineups to plan your radio listening appropriately. And finally, make sure to become a Hoosier-holic by subscribing to the free newsletter. Stay up to date on the latest news of the show, fun facts of the month, and learn new ways to defend and preserve this great republic. It's all there at HooserReason.com. Again, HooserReason.com. Go check it out. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. Want to reach out to the show? A big part of the program is you, and we want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts of the show, maybe a guest we've had on the program, or my favorite, when you disagree with something that I talk about. You can email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or send us a message through our website at HooserReason.com. The show's not about me, it's about you. So be heard and be your own voice of reason. Again, email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or find our contact information at HooserReason.com. Miss part of the show? Don't worry about it. There's plenty of ways to catch the program, and here's how you can do it. First, make sure to tune in every day right here on your favorite radio station. We're here for you. Second, subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite sites. YouTube and iTunes, Spotify and Google Play, TuneIn, Podbean, and more. Have the show automatically downloaded to your favorite device. Last, visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can listen to the podcast, catch our special features, and more. It's the Voice of Reason on radio, TV, and online, helping you defend and preserve this great republic. Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. The show's growing all the time, and as we talk about the big issues of the day, one of the big parts of the program is you. And I want you to join us on the program. Whether you agree, disagree, or just want to relieve some of that political frustration, we're here for you. No matter where you may be watching, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, go ahead and leave a comment on the live stream. Chat with other listeners and let me know your thoughts on the topic. Also chat with us on the Podbean chat room. Just go to our live stream of the show at podbean.com and chat with other listeners. You can also call into the program. Just download the Podbean app onto your smartphone, join the live stream, and call in through the app. This is your show, and we want to hear your thoughts. So go ahead and join us here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hoosier-holic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe through any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. For a schedule of upcoming guests on the program, daily show topics, or to reach out to the Hooser Media Network, visit us on the website at HooserReason.com. Or for general inquiries, to be a guest on the program, or to have Andy a guest on your program, email us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. Keep fighting for freedom with us every day right here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network. Now, back to the show.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Darn right you are. Welcome back into the program. Thanks for hanging out with us today on a Monday, the greatest day of the entire week. And yes, I did just say that. 24 minutes past the hour, radio and TV, plus our live stream and podcasting thereafter as well. Thank you again for all the downloads of the podcast. We rocked it last month, starting off with a whole new month again right now for the month of May. Tomorrow, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. May 4th, may the 4th be with you. If you don't watch Star Wars, I have to admit I have failed as a husband. I'm just throwing it out there. I have failed miserably as a husband. My wife, Mrs. Voice of Reason, has never seen Star Wars. I know. never seen Star Wars. We've been married now for going on 9 years this year, and I've never shown her Star Wars, and I feel very bad about that. I apologize in advance that I have failed miserably as a husband. I have also, now she's a little young for it, because I didn't get into it until I was like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, but Harry Potter, I have yet to get Little Voice of Reason into that one. She's just learning to read, so right now she's learning like the Fox and Socks and Mark Levin's, whatever. I will say, when she was still in the tummy before she was born, I would read her Mark Levin's Liberty Amendments. That was the book. I did not read her the kids' books while she was in the tummy, and she recognized my voice, and she would do the kicking and squirming and thing in the belly, but I would read her Mark Levin's Liberty Amendments. That was the time that book just came out, and I had it right away, and that's what I read her when she was in the tummy. So now she has almost all of Rush Limbaugh's children's books, which is awesome. She has the access to the Mark Levin books, and we'll get her there. We'll get her there, little by little. That's what we do. All right, so Republicans, the era of big government, if that's the way we're in moving forward, I would like to contrast that. And if you didn't sign up for the newsletter, I highly encourage you to sign up for the Hooser Media Network newsletter, the Hooser Reason newsletter. Go to HooserReason.com. It came out today. I thought at least there was an interesting piece that I wrote for our blog that came out. The blog is on the website at HooserReason.com as well, right at the homepage there, and you can read it. But we talk about the things we can do to stop the massive socialist, progressive, left-wing movement coming out of the Joe Biden administration and the Democrats. According to rollcall.com, Democratic unity makes Joe Biden's ambitions possible. Of course they make it possible, because the Democrats work together to unite. They come up with a plan, they bicker about it behind closed doors, and then when they come out, it is every Democrat on board, let's get her done type of mentality. Republicans, you got the main push from some Republicans, and others are like, wait a second, that's kind of big government, isn't it? Then you got the others that are like, oh, we really need to work more with Democrats. Now, bills like this, there's a headline of Republicans saying, oh, let's sit down with the Joe Biden administration. Let's water down the infrastructure package again. We'll pass your infrastructure plan. We just don't want to tax the rich. We don't want to tax the wealthy class on here. We want to find a different way to pay for the programs. And when I saw that headline, my mouth dropped, because I said, wait a second, we shouldn't even be trying to negotiate with this. The Democrats are going to ram it through if they want to. Why are we helping them? The Democrats are going to ram it through. They have the majority in the House. If they want to get the majority in the Senate, they can with the 50-50 vote with Kamala Harris. If they need the 60 votes, then it's dead on arrival. Stay firm, Republicans. What are you doing? We don't want an infrastructure plan. We don't want to spend $2 trillion to expand the federal debt and the deficit for this year to $4 trillion just in the first 8 months of the fiscal year of 2020 and 2021. We don't want to do that. Why would you even think about negotiating? What I want as a message from Republicans is a hardline hell no. As Lauren Boebert came out and said during the Beto O'Rourke rally was, hell no, you're not going to take my AR. Guess what? Every single Republican in the House and the Senate shouldn't even think about considering a negotiation or a voting for that infrastructure plan. They should be looking and saying $2 trillion? Ha! You're funny. Hell no, we ain't going to vote for it. And any Republican that does vote for it needs to get their ass voted out. Just throwing it out there. Because they're done. We're done with compromising. We always give Democrats everything, and we're not going to do it anymore. That's why we're in the position we're in right now. No more. Hardline, no. Stick to your guns. Have a backbone, for crying out loud, and let's actually stop some of this stuff. Right back after this here on The Voice of Reason.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser. While you listen to the delightful broadcast of The Voice of Reason, don't forget to check us out and follow us on all of our social media sites. Whether you're using Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Minds.com, or Instagram, we're there for you. Find us at Hooser Reason on any of your social media platforms. You'll see special commentary, links to the articles and news that we use on the show, and videos of the broadcast. Plus, you can directly send us a message on social media during the show to let me know your thoughts. Many already do, and it's a great chat room for all of our great listeners. And you can always sign up for the Patreon site to get exclusive content, maybe hear show products before we air them on the radio, and a lot more. And when you support us on Patreon, you also help the show be able to fight for conservative values each and every day. So it's a win-win. Reason. Just find us at Hooser Reason on all of your social media platforms, or you can find a link to all of our social media sites on our website at HooserReason.com. We know you're on social media already, so bring some reason into your day. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Mid-America Network News Business Report. I'm Andy Hooser. After day one of trading for the week, we see it kind of mixed across the board. The Dow Jones rose today by 238 points. The S&P 500 rose by 11 points, and the NASDAQ dropped by 67. Good news for the state of Florida, as Governor Ron DeSantis has suspended all remaining COVID restrictions in the state, saying they are no longer in a state of emergency. Many investors are excited about more states trying to open up their guidelines amid the COVID-19 pandemic for economic boost. At the same time, the usual standard in Wall Street is to sell in May and go away, meaning between May and October. The market usually underperforms from the prior 6 months. But with the economy opening back up after COVID, many investors are urging those to not follow that principle. At the end of trading today, it was a green day in the energy market, with oil up by 87 cents to $64.45. Natural gas rose by 2 pennies to $2.95. In the metals market, it was green across the board for gold, silver, and copper.
My name is Brandon. I am a manager of tire sales at Firestone Complete Auto Care. When you come here to get service, we're going to take care of your car. Because you take care of your car, the car is going to take care of you.
Come in for the Firestone Complete Auto Care Epic Sales Event and save $100 when you spend $500 or more. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Valid March 12th through March 15th. The exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with other offers. Additional fees may apply where lawful. See store for details.
Maximum Outdoor Equipment knows mowers inside and out, backwards and forwards, commercial, residential, all brands, all types. They also know trimmers, edgers, snow blowers, and most other types of outdoor power equipment. Maximum Outdoor has the know-how to work on them and the parts to fix them, even if it isn't a brand they sell. Now, if you need someone to repair your refrigerator or fix your plumbing, Maximum Outdoor Equipment doesn't do that. They're not one of those big box stores that sells lots of stuff but can't help you if something goes wrong. Maximum Outdoor is a small box store specializing in mowers and outdoor power equipment. If you have a lawnmower or some other piece of power equipment that needs tuning up or fixing, or you need parts so you can fix it yourself, they're the people to see, no matter what brand it is, even if you bought it at one of those big box stores. Maximum Outdoor Equipment. Give them a call at 943-0201 or stop in and see them just south of Kellogg on West Street and online at MaximumOutdoor.com.
Maximum service, maximum value, maximum outdoor equipment.
This is Phil Martinez with Phil's Coins. The difference between us and our competition is the fact that we care about our customers greatly. When you come to our shop, we listen to what you want to do and what your needs are, and we try to build a portfolio that will work for you. It's all about you. It's not about us. Our biggest goal is to help you accomplish your life's goals and what you're going to do in the easiest form that we can do it in. We always treat you with honesty and integrity. It's not just our motto, it is the way we do business. Phil's Coins, 9344 West Central.
Starting today, we feel it is important to talk about the members of our Southwestern Remodeling family that bring your projects to life. After all, the quality of your home renovation and your overall experience is dependent upon the people that are involved. Our staff of 36 full-time craftsmen, remodeling consultants, and management team have a combined 500 years of tenure, which ensures the highest quality overall experience. Let the Southwestern Remodeling family show you the difference our people make. View our work at southwesternremodeling.com.
Cloudy this afternoon with a stray shower or thunderstorm not completely out of the question. In Wichita, we'll see a daytime high near 70. North wind 10 to 20, gusts to 25. The better rain chances will pick up during the evening and overnight tonight, with lows dropping to 46 by morning. For Tuesday, chance for rain in the morning, a high near 64. With your forecast, I'm Cake meteorologist Frank Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on the Big Talker, KQAM.
At 4:35, it's currently 73 degrees.
When Reason Meets Radio. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Welcome back into the program. Thanks for hanging out with us today on a Monday, radio and TV, plus the live stream and podcasting. There's no reason why you can't find this program anywhere, because we are everywhere, and I will find you. And we'll get that message out there. That's what we're all about. So welcome in at radio and TV, plus the live stream. Social media, any social media platform, Facebook, YouTube, although we'll see how long that actually lasts. My guest, Melissa Carone, has not been able to get a hold of her, so we'll keep trying. If not, we'll get her rescheduled for another day. That's okay, because there is plenty to talk about, so it's not that big of a deal. But on the other hand, too, if she does come on, we'll probably get our third strike on YouTube and be out of here, which honestly I'm okay with, but we'll stay on it for right now. We are live on there right now. If you go to youtube.com, you can find us on there at Hooser Reason, Hooser Reason. Also on twitch.tv. That's kind of the more mainstream TV source you can find us on. We are on the Facebook Live, the Twitter Live, the LinkedIn Live, and we do have it on ourfreedombook.com as well. As I mentioned, there are two new social media sites that I'm working to try and get on right now that I'll probably work on over the next couple of days, and you can start finding us on there. Again, all at Hooser Reason on all of them. But I am working on TikTok. Now, again, TikTok used to be owned by a Chinese company, and it was actually banned in the United States. President Trump signed that bill, and it was banned actually on military bases is where it started, where you couldn't even have your phone on you if you went into a military base if you had TikTok as an app, even if it was shut off. You could not have a phone with the app on it at all within the military bases in some aspects because of the Chinese government spying on people, turning on their cameras, turning on their microphones, while the phone could even be completely turned off through the TikTok app. It was nothing more than just a way to fool stupid young people. No offense to young kids, but, you dang kids. It was a way to fool them and be able to spy on trends in America and what they're talking about and what they're thinking, and be able to influence the society. Now, that has been bought by Microsoft, which I don't know if that's any better, honestly, but that's why it's allowed to continue on as opposed to being banned like it was in with the Chinese ownership. So I have downloaded TikTok. I'm building the profile as we speak. I do not take videos of myself. I do not take photos of myself. It's going to be a very difficult thing trying to be on there, but if we're going to reach the younger generation, which we have to educate them. And if that's where they're doing their cool little 15-second little video clips, then we'll make a 15-second video clip of making the Constitution cool again. Can you do that? Are you able to make the Constitution cool again? We're going to make it rad, man, just like it's 1776. That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of, I got to give a shout-out to a listener, listener Scott, and a big supporter of the program. He has been for a long time, since we've been on the air 7 years ago with our local program. And I got something in the mail last week from him. He had emailed me, messaged me, and said, hey, something's on the way, just hang tight for it. And I got to give him credit. Now, we talk a lot about the war on words and the war on definitions, the war on understanding the world around us, because, as you know, the left-wing progressives do a very good job at redefining terms to make them sound fluffy, to make them sound better, or to make them sound evil, and redefining what reality is based on the way we're describing it. Which blows your mind. Think about that for a second. We're literally changing reality based on our perception of the reality, based on how we describe the world around us. When you think of socialism, that's always been my example. When you look at older 1960s, 1970s Merriam-Webster dictionary, it said that socialism was the means of distribution of goods by the government. And it was a bigger government form of government system. When you look at like Wikipedia, which is stupid because you shouldn't use Wikipedia ever. If you're listening and you're a kid and you're in middle school, you're in high school, you're in college, you're trying to write papers, never use Wikipedia for a source because it's not credible, because anybody can literally go to any page and just hit edit and rewrite whatever they want to on there. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's inaccurate, and at least when I was in college, college did not allow you to use Wikipedia as a source. I don't know if they do or not right now anyways. Regardless, when you look at socialism, it says it's the means and distribution by the people. And people have control over everything now because they get to control the means and distribution. They get to control the evil corporations. And it's all wonderful because socialism is the greatest thing on the face of the earth. Well, because of those conversations, I mean, that form would probably, if we went back to the old school dictionary version, would probably change the opinion of some of the bills that Joe Biden is currently proposing. So, listener Scott, got to give him props, sent me this massive American Dictionary of the English Language from Noah Webster, 1828. And if you're watching on the live stream, I have it up here. This thing is huge. It's bigly. It's the biggest dictionary you've ever seen. It's the biggest dictionary. None of them even come to comparison. This thing is massive, from 1828. So we're going to be doing some redefining here on The Voice of Reason throughout the next months on the program. And as we talk about different terminology, as we talk about the war of words and the war on ideas and the war on reality itself based on how we describe the reality around us right now, we're going to be using the original context, the original text of what it used to be, because guess what? You may have a different interpretation, but it doesn't mean that the definition of something actually changed. Which I guess we could really blow your mind and see how deep you want to go with a conversation like that of, if you interpret it different, does the meaning of it actually change? Or does 1 + 1 still equal 2 unless you want it to be something else because you interpret it something else because it's very emotional for you and you get very triggered if 1 + 1 = 2 because that's racist. So that's a fun conversation to have as well. As we talk about holding our elected officials accountable, our Republican officials accountable. No more compromise. No sitting down with Joe Biden. I know Joe Biden did the big speech at the State of the Union, air quotes again, State of the Union, and said, I want anybody who thinks their ideas are better to come and sit down at my desk and talk to me about it and pitch your idea on what could work because I'm open to everybody. I'm not just a Democrat president. I'm a president for all Americans. I'm a president for Republicans and Democrats. And I forgot what I was saying because my name's Joe Biden and I'm running for U.S. Senate. I mean, president or something. He talks a good talk, but if Republicans actually buy it, then they are more gullible than what I even thought. And we know politicians are gullible. We know politicians usually don't know what the heck they're talking about half the time, or they come up with just kind of feel-good messages when they're campaigning. But if they truly, honestly fall for that, they need to leave. Because Joe Biden is the most progressive president that we've seen ever, even more so than Barack Obama, which is crazy to think about. And it's not necessarily Biden. It's really Kamala Harris. It's really Nancy Pelosi. It's really Harry Reid. It's really Chuck Schumer. It's really Adam Schiff. It's really Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the B Squad. It's really them pushing it and Joe Biden just kind of the puppet going along. So Republicans, let's be a little bit smarter. Let's not fall for that. Let's not compromise. I do not want a single Republican, Mitt Romney, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, to actually sit down and talk and compromise with some of these Democrats and say, sure, we'll pass your infrastructure plan. We love the idea of spending $2 trillion on a package that's not even our federal budget. We love that idea. We just don't want to raise taxes. I'm done with it. That's not the role of government. That's not what we're going to do. At the same time, I don't know if you've seen, but right now we are worse with our government's debt to GDP ratio than any other nation, including the whole crash in Greece. Remember that a few years ago, back in 2008? Greece was going through its issues. The GDP was so low, spending was so high that they had to file bankruptcy. It was literally an economic crisis. Guess what? We have officially hit that landmark. According to fee.org, the Foundation for Economic Education, a nonpartisan, just here's the numbers of our budget and here's the economics of the country. The U.S. government's debt to GDP ratio is worse than Greece's before the 2008 crash right now. Now, the reason we've been sustaining is because we love our nice little idea that's stupid called quantitative easing, where we just print money out of nowhere, we inject it into the system, be like, hey, we're living in debt, we can do it and sustain this way, and it's a great idea. That's not the way it works. That's not the way economics work, and that's not the way we can do that. But if you remember, it was a major issue. Now, way back when in the United States, and here's a little lesson for those that may be listening as well on the younger side that may not have heard this in their college diploma different classes or courses. We used to cap how much we could spend of our national GDP, our gross domestic product. That, for those that don't know as well, breaking it down even simpler, is the entire nation's economy based on how much we create at the private level. That's right, the private level, not the economy of, spurring jobs through the federal government and giving grants out and signing contracts for construction projects and inflating by paying these construction projects through our taxpayer money. That's not that. I'm talking about actual businesses that create jobs, that create a product, that sell products for a profit, and we make money. We're not taking someone else's piece of the pie. The pie is ever growing, which is an awesome concept to think about. The difference between socialism and big government utopian, public sector garbage, and then private sector free market laissez-faire capitalism. You don't take someone else's piece of the pie. You create your piece of the pie. And it's not stealing it from somebody else. It's creating it. Poof, out of thin air. You can create it. You have that power. You have that ability to create whatever you want to economic-wise. If you want to start a business, you can do that with your own cash. And then, poof, guess what? Money starts flowing in when people buy your products. Money starts flowing in when you create a service for somebody else. You have created your own wealth. You did not take it from somebody else. You created it. That is gross domestic product. How much is out there? And it grows every year. And we used to cap that anywhere between 15, 16, 17, 18% of the federal GDP on how much the federal government was allowed to spend. Now, the last I saw, we were sitting around like 30% of our GDP, which is a really dangerous level, a really dangerous place that we're not supposed to be. That's really bad if we're using that much money. But we've already hit above the level of what Greece was. Greece went bankrupt. Greece was in a financial ruin and had to take a massive bailout, I believe, from the United Nations, from the EU, the European Union, and had to have help from neighbors because they were out of cash. They could not sustain the debt. We are already surpassed that, and we still want a $2 trillion infrastructure package, and we still want a $2 trillion families plan, or whatever it is, the American Families Plan, to try and give more money out, to take care of kids, to do free college, all this other stupid stuff, when we're already surpassed what could financially collapse us. And Republicans are okay compromising on that? I know Democrats want to ruin the country. I know they want to bankrupt us. I know they want to do their stupid garbage for them to feel accomplished like they did something. But Republicans? We're going to go along with that? Come on.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left seems to find new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back, and we can help with that. Visit our website at HooserReason.com. There's some really great stuff for you. You can read the latest blog discussing topical issues and current events. Let us know your thoughts by filling out our monthly survey. Keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Listen to the podcast of your favorite guest or show, and check out our latest Voice of Reason product infomercials. Plus, you can find upcoming show schedules and guest lineups to plan your radio listening appropriately. And finally, make sure to become a Hoosier-holic by subscribing to the free newsletter. Stay up to date on the latest news of the show, fun facts of the month, and learn new ways to defend and preserve this great republic. It's all there at HooserReason.com. Again, HooserReason.com. Go check it out. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Miss part of the show? Don't worry about it. There's plenty of ways to catch the program, and here's how you can do it. First, make sure to tune in every day right here on your favorite radio station. We're here for you. Second, subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite sites. YouTube and iTunes, Spotify and Google Play, TuneIn, Podbean, and more. Have the show automatically downloaded to your favorite device. Last, visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can listen to the podcast, catch our special features, and more. It's the Voice of Reason on radio, TV, and online, helping you defend and preserve this great republic. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. Want to reach out to the show? A big part of the program is you, and we want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts of the show, maybe a guest we've had on the program, or my favorite, when you disagree with something that I talk about. You can email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or send us a message through our website at HooserReason.com. The show's not about me, it's about you. So be heard and be your own voice of reason. Again, email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or find our contact information at HooserReason.com. Oh, hi. You know, conservative messages now are more important than ever before. Election season, state legislative issues, and a rise in the radical left socialist progressive agenda. What we really need now more than ever before is knowledge and wisdom. That's where we come in. Hi, I'm Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. and I'm your voice for reasonable talk, conservative commentary, great guests and entertainment on radio, TV, and the internet. It's time to bring some common sense back into the discussion. National issues, state legislative issues, no matter where you may be, upcoming elections, and a heck of a lot more, we can bring traditional values, constitutional principles, and local activism back. And here's what you can do. First, follow us on all the social media platforms at Hooser Reason. You can watch the live stream of the show, leave comments, and even call into the program. Second, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on all of your audio devices, from iTunes and Spotify to Google Play and TuneIn. Make sure to subscribe to have every episode automatically downloaded so you don't miss a single episode. Third, make sure to visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can catch our monthly blog talking about deeper discussions, see who's coming on the program, plus you can sign up for our free monthly newsletter to catch the latest on the show, monthly topics, upcoming interviews, and more. It's time to be that local activist again. That's what the Voice of Reason's all about. Why? Because that's kind of the reasonable thing to do. And it's time for you to speak up, speak out, speak loud, speak proud, speak the truth, and always speak some reason. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hooserholic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe through any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the program today. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcasting sites and have the show automatically downloaded to your phone or computer every single day. Just find us on any podcasting site or go to HooserReason.podbean.com. And be sure to check out our Patreon site, become the ultimate Hooserholic, and help us fight for conservative values every day. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Now back to the national broadcast of the Voice of Reason.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Darn right you are. Welcome back into the program, all over the place. The last segment, it goes by way too fast. The fastest hour of radio on radio, trying to cram that 10 pounds of reason into that 5-pound bag, trying to rebrand the millennial generation, one radio listener at a time. But we appreciate you hanging out today to kick off a brand new week. It's going to be a good month. I have a good feeling. I know Memorial Day is at the end of this week, or the end of this month, which is really hard to believe that the year's flying by that fast. But as things start to pick up again worldwide after the COVID shutdowns, I guess it's going to feel a lot quicker, move a lot faster. We are still hauling away with the Hooser Media Network studios and working hard on that one, so we'll give you some more updates as that goes along. Plus, I'm really excited about some of our Hooser Media Network podcasting shows. We'll talk about that later as well. Plus, you can get an update on that on our newsletter at HooserReason.com. Speaking of the COVID lockdowns, here's the latest. And that's enough about the economy. We'll get back to that in just a minute, but here's the latest in what's trending today.
What's trending today?
So as the COVID-19 vaccinations continue across the nation, spreading all about, everybody trying to get those, and the demand for those really just disappearing, like outside of the ones that were vulnerable, nobody else wants it. Nobody else wants it. Now there's a national push for kids 12 to 15 years old. Absolutely sickening, the fact that we're trying to advocate for that, but I digress. There are now scientists who are scrambling. Here's the Yahoo News. Scientists scramble to see why, in rare cases, even the vaccinated can get COVID-19. According to Yahoo News, they start off with a story of an individual. Kerry Alexander, Washington, 80 years old, was a practicing clinical psychologist. He got his COVID vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, on February 4th. He got his second dose, or that was when he got his second dose. He got the first dose earlier than that, got the second dose February 4th, was dead by March 25th, was having complications breathing with his lungs and with his respiratory system. The cardiologist did not test him for COVID-19 after he died 2 weeks later in the hospital. In the intensive care unit, they saw that COVID-19 had destroyed his lungs. Now, the question is, everybody's panicking now. Why are individuals getting COVID after they already got the vaccine? And obviously, they say it's a rare case, but we're not getting our story straight, and we're not getting all the information because when they first came out with it, they said, oh, yeah, no, sorry, it's not going to stop you from getting COVID, which is why you still need to wear the mask. All it's going to do is help mask the symptoms. That's what they told us. And remember, there was some confusion between Dr. Fauci and the CDC with the vaccines. Look, I'm not advocating one way or the other here. I'm literally just stating the facts. So go get it. Don't go get it. I don't really care. Do your thing. You do you, boo. I'm not going to. I'm not going to get the vaccine. I'm just fine with my vitamins, and I'm all happy hunky-dory. But we got conflicting reports from Dr. Fauci and the CDC where the CDC is like, oh, yeah, you're not going to get COVID. You're fine. Fauci's like, no, you're still going to get COVID. It's just going to help fight the symptoms so you don't show the symptoms of it. It's still in your bloodstream. You're just not going to have the symptoms of it. So you still need to wear the mask because even though you got the vaccine, then you just may not get sick, but you'll still get it, which means if you have it, then you can transfer it and you can spread it, and it's going to be this whole thing. So still wear a mask, which is why so many people said, I don't know if I want to get it. What's the point of getting it if I'm still going to get the virus? What's the point of getting the vaccine? Then they're saying, well, no, you're not going to get it. Okay, you're not going to get it. It's still going to be in your bloodstream, but we're going to be able to kill it off because that's what vaccines do. Especially this new mRNA type of vaccination, it's going to kill it off. So if you're exposed to it, then it's just automatically, boom, it trains your autoimmune system. Boom, just kill it. You're right there. You don't have to worry about it. You're good. But you still need to wear a mask, by the way, just in case. Now they're saying that when you get the vaccine and then you get the virus, now it's called a breakthrough virus or a breakthrough case because you've broken through the barrier of the virus of the vaccine, and we don't know why you're getting it. So now scientists are starting to scramble as less and less people are actually trusting the COVID-19 vaccinations. These scientists are trying to realize, wait a second, is there something going on here, and why are we giving it to people if individuals, especially the elderly, that was the whole point to get the vaccine to protect them so we don't kill them, why are they still getting the virus, and some are still dying. Now, here in the Wichita area, we had a story just a week or so ago where there was another nursing home, retirement home, where there was a cluster of about 6 or 8 individuals that got it, and everybody had the vaccine, but yet they still got COVID. And the last I had heard was that there were no symptoms with it, but they did test positive for the virus. At the same time, we don't know what the real rates are because people are not testing for it any longer, so we don't know the real positivity rates in the nation. So, again, we just can't gauge or calculate anything because that's the efficiency of the government and health departments that are trying to push for some type of agenda by you getting the vaccine, not visiting people, wearing the masks, socially distancing, and all that garbage. But yet, as they say that it's the era of big government, it's the time where many people are just saying, I'm kind of over it, kind of done with it, and you're not going to tell me what to do anymore. And guess what? The state of Florida today announced that they are completely getting rid of all of their restrictions for COVID-19 and opening up completely. We salute them. Podcast going up a little bit. We appreciate you. Back at it all this week. We have a heck of a laundry list of guests. Don't miss it. Until then, this is The Voice of Reason. I'm Andy Hooser. Everybody have a wonderful Monday. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. While you listen to the delightful broadcast of The Voice of Reason, don't forget to check us out and follow us on all of our social media sites. Whether you're using Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Minds.com, or Instagram, we're there for you. Find us at Hooser Reason on any of your social media platforms. You'll see special commentary, links to the articles and news that we use on the show, and videos of the broadcast. Plus, you can directly send us a message on social media during the show to let me know your thoughts. Many already do, and it's a great chat room for all of our great listeners. And you can always sign up for the Patreon site to get exclusive content, maybe hear show products before we air them on the radio, and a lot more. And when you support us on Patreon, you also help the show be able to fight for conservative values each and every day. So it's a win-win. Just find us at Hooser Reason on all of your social media platforms, or you can find a link to all of our social media sites on our website at HooserReason.com. We know you're on social media already, so bring some reason into your day. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.